was regulated through Child and Youth Services, CYS. We had one child of our own, and it was a remote base, so jobs were scarce, so I figured this was a good option for me to work and be able to also stay home with our kiddo. The daycare spots were a shortage, and that meant I was full and even had a wait list. This also meant I could kind of pick and choose the kids I had in my care. For the most part, I had great kids and decent parents. I even became friends with one of the sets of parents, and that was my mistake. The mom, let's call her Karen, seemed to be normal, not entitled when we first met. We even had her family over for barbecues on a couple weekends, and things were good. During the time of having the daycare open, I became pregnant with our second child. I have issues with headaches, and when I'm pregnant, they get so much worse. Karen began asking me to babysit after hours for free, as friends for her. I agreed once in exchange for her watching our son once in return, and she agreed. I watched Karen's kids, and she never followed through and watched ours. After that, Karen frequently asked me to allow her kids to stay late and not get charged, and also she would ask me to babysit after hours for free, and each time I would say no and I used my headaches as a reason. Karen actually said, "You can't use being pregnant as an excuse forever." I said no, not forever, but for about 9 months. And it was about this time I knew I wouldn't be able to keep running my daycare after a couple of months because of the high risk nature of my pregnancy. I started by informing the CYS and then put a letter together for the parents, and I gave them 2 months notice to find care. This was an additional 30 days over and above what is required in the contract. I wanted to be fair, and I knew it might be hard to find care. I was also releasing them from their contracts as soon as they could find care. They didn't need to give me notice. I handed out the letters at pickup that day. Karen waited till the other parents left and tore up her letter with a smile. "Will you throw this away for me?" "Sure, but you did get the gist, right?" "Yeah, you're closing your daycare because you're pregnant and don't want to deal with all those other people." "No, I'm closing because I have a high-risk pregnancy and my doctor says I shouldn't be chasing after all the kids and I will have a lot of appointments." "Yeah, but you can still watch Kid 1 and Kid 2 for me. And since you won't be a full daycare, you can do it for a lot cheaper." "Karen, I'm closing my daycare." "Okay, then at least you could watch my kids for free while I find daycare and be my backup care." "No, I'm sorry, Karen, I'm not doing that." "This is ridiculous. Women get pregnant all the time and you already have to watch your son. You can totally watch my 2 kids too, or are you telling me you can't watch your son either?" "I'm not going into this. I think it's time for you to find a new provider." "Fine, but I don't think I should have to pay while I look." "You have to pay, or I'll stop watching your kids." Karen left with her kids. She kept bringing her kids, and when it came time for her payment, all of a sudden her husband came to get the kids and drop them off, and said Karen will be bringing the payment. This went on for 2 days, and then I told him that if I wasn't paid, I would not accept the kids into care, and they would still owe me for the past due. Karen showed up on the 3rd day and wrote a check. This was normal, but it bounced, and that was not. I then contacted CYS and let them know, per the contract. I gave them an invoice with a $25 NSF fee and a 48-hour notice to pay full in cash. Karen's husband showed up and paid, but he said Karen was going to be upset because she didn't want to pay. I guess she felt I should be watching their kids for free since I was closing my daycare. I talked to her husband and said I feel it's best he find new care as soon as possible, and that until he does, I would need to be paid in advance for the care. I had the kids for 2 weeks more. And this is a funny event that happened way later. After I gave birth to our daughter, this had to be about a year and a couple of months after closing the daycare, Karen called me. She wanted me to babysit her kids overnight so they could go to Las Vegas on a military ball. Oh, did I mention she wanted me to do this for free? I said no. With friends like that, who needs enemies? Our next Reddit post is from Crazy Squirrel Girl. To set up my vehicle, my husband is disabled and we have a scooter that's on a lift attached to the back. Drive through any Veterans Affairs and you'll see these lifts. While running errands, I stopped at a grocery store. I waited for a car to back out, throw it in from the door, next to handicap parking. Score. I put on my turn signal and wait. I wave to the dude and pull in. I sit there dancing in the seat because "You Spin Me Right Round" is on the radio. Suddenly, there's a loud knocking on my window. After I scream a little, I lower the window 2 inches. There she is.
Welcome to r/I don't work here.
Karen. Stuck in the 90s with the long stringy hair that's black at the roots, 3 inches down and blonde the other 10 inches. Can I help you? Why did you park here? You're obviously handicapped. Park in the next spot. I need this. I have kids. No. My husband is a disabled one and he... Just move your car. It's gonna snow and I don't want my daughter in the snow. It's illegal for me to park there because my husband isn't with me. I don't care. You have that thingy. She points towards the back of my van. Just park there. Okay. I glance in the rearview mirror. You shouldn't leave your kid in a car alone with the driver door open. That's how kidnapping happens. Goodbye. I roll up the window. The entitled mother makes a screeching noise and hits my window again. Basically, I waited until she got back in her car and drove off. Then I headed into the store and tried to shop. She would appear like a pop-up book from hell, making snide comments, then disappear again. That was r/entitled parents, and if you like this video, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day. Welcome to r/choosing beggars, where a guy demands $8,000 from OP just because OP has a higher salary. Review: 1 star, rudest employee ever. Was in the area and went to Challengers just to look if there were any new comic titles that I may have missed to download digital versions of. This sloppy, fat, tattooed guy with a messy beard that looked like a bird's nest walks up to me and asks if I'm looking for something specific. I told him no, I'm just looking to see if there are any new titles out that I may have missed putting on my list of comic titles to download off the internet. Then the dude goes off on me telling me I shouldn't download pirate comics and that I should buy them, support the industry, blah blah blah. Sorry, with comic books going for $5 a book these days, I'm not going to spend money on something I can get off the web for free. If this dude didn't like that I wasn't buying anything, he should have kept his mouth shut. You don't go off on people like that. Talk about being totally unprofessional. With an employee like that, this comic book shop deserves to go belly up with the rest of the comic book shops dropping like flies. Worst complaint ever. In this next post, OP and a bunch of other guys are going on a bachelor party, and he gets this text message from one of the guys who he barely knows. Hi, you make way more than all of us. Is it okay if you pitch in a lot more? Hey, Blink, I'm already paying for the hotel that I said you guys didn't have to pay for. I'm not sure what more I can pitch in. Well, you make 7 figures. Some of us can barely afford to go on this trip. It would be appreciated if you would buy my plane ticket and maybe some others. You don't have to go if you can't afford it. If you want to pitch in on the $8,000 I spent on hotels, you're more than welcome to do so. Stop being a little wussy, lol. I just bought a car, so money's tight. It's only an extra $400 or $1,000 if you want to get first class. You're right. I should get you the first class ticket. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what I was thinking. Glad you came to your senses. Send it to my email when you get it, blank@gmail.com. Sent. This is only a $75 gift card to Delta, you effing stingy grunt. I always knew you were greedy. I know you can afford to buy my ticket. You know what? I think I decided to buy tickets for everyone else besides you. Feel free to take credit for it. Stingy jerk, no wonder you're the only one without a girlfriend. Why don't you go get a real hardworking job like the rest of us? Mate, I got us the villa as a gift for the groom for his party. I don't even know where you're getting this entitlement from. Also, you work in car sales. I kill it in car sales and make commission off idiots like you. Right, so if you're making a lot, I'm sure you can afford a plane ticket, especially with that card I sent you. The gift card didn't even work, you lying scum. You can't even spare me a plane ticket. You're the greediest person I've ever met. It's not even that much for you to get me a ticket. It's only $1,000. If I had more money, I'd buy it for you too. Tell you what, buy your own ticket and I'll buy your drinks while we're down there. It seems like you need a drink, or 5. You're old enough to drink, right? The last person I met that was this entitled was 14 years old. You look a little too old to be in high school. And then, since OP posted this conversation over the course of several days, he adds, "You posted our conversation on Reddit? Haha, how much of a joke nerd are you? You need to buy my ticket now for giving you popularity, effing nerd." Sorry man, I forgot to ask for permission, but apparently, since you're under 18, I made sure to ask your parents for you. Funny guy, you won't be laughing so hard when I post your personal information on there. Yeah, have a good one, man. Did this idiot just tell someone making $1 million a year to go get a job? What? Hey, Blank, I have a favor to ask you for Blank's bachelorette next month. Can I borrow the black dress you wore to the Women in Business event last week for one of our nights out in Vegas? Hey, I'd love to be able to help you out, but I'm planning on wearing that while we're out there. Can't wait for the trip. Come on, don't be stingy. I really need it. I don't have anything to wear. I'm sorry, it's one of my favorites, so I don't like loaning it out, and I'd plan on wearing it out there. Shaking my head, so rude. Well, do you have anything else for me to wear? Excuse me? You heard me. Don't you have anything else I can borrow for the trip? My suitcase is a little light, and I don't want to pay for an extra bag. Don't you already have stuff to wear? You know money is tight as a single mom. Plus, I love your clothes. Come on, throw something nice in for me. I'd love to help you out, but last time I lent you something, I had to ask for it for months and then pay for you to ship it to me, and it was all stretched out. What the F? Are you saying I'm fat? I'm just saying we may not be the same size any longer. I love your look, but don't you want something that fits? F you. We can't all afford a Peloton and membership to drop the baby weight. I know you and your husband both work. Hook me up. Didn't you just get a new Lexus? That's Elise. You know money is tight. Don't be an effing grunt. Hey, are the 40K miniatures you listed on r/miniswap still available? Hello, yes, they're all still available. Do you have any specific one in mind, or are you looking at the whole set? Whole set, please. Fantastic. Also, just want to check that you're based in the UK for postage reasons. Yes, I'll take the whole set for £15. I appreciate the offer, but I was hoping to go up to about £25 as a minimum, considering the set they came from is £90 in total, and I hope my painting skills add a little bit of value. I'm not here to haggle. £15 is my best offer. I respectfully decline. Apologies, but I'm just looking for a little higher in terms of payment. They're for my son. That doesn't change my valuation. I can point you towards some cheap sets for him to enjoy. He wants your set. He likes how they're painted. Well, thank you. It took me a little while to paint all of them, and if he isn't into painting them himself, then any offer around £25 will net him a fully painted little army that it sounds like he'd really enjoy. I feel as though I'm offering a good deal here. Your models are painted badly, and you should feel terrible about yourself. Spoiled piece of garbage. This conversation is done. Thanks for your time. Don't be so effing rude, dopey grunt. I'll have you out, mate. Seriously, your models look like effing garbage. Don't list stuff if you ain't gonna effing sell it. F you. F you. Stop effing ignoring me, you effing bundle of sticks. Absolute bellend. You effing wanker. Don't you just love how he says, "Don't be rude," and then immediately goes on a cursing rampage? Giving away new wedding dress for free. Okay, I'm going to try this one last time. If no takers, then I'll donate to charity. This is similar to Cinderella. If you're a bride who can't afford a new dress, come try it on. If it fits, it's yours. Simple as that. It even comes in a wedding dress storage bag. I purchased it for my daughter, who ended up choosing another dress. It's beautiful, stylish, comfortable, and flattering. Full disclosure, yes, it's new, never worn. Yes, it's free. No, I will not meet or deliver. 4, it needs to be cleaned before wearing, and no, I will not have it cleaned or pay for cleaning. Tag is size 8, but it fits like a 2 or a 4 with full zipper back. No, I don't have more photos. No, I will not hand it over to a third party so that it can be sold elsewhere. Original tag price was $1,600. I bought it on sale for $800. I'm trying to do a good deed here, but you would not believe some of the questions and requests I'm presented with. Trust me, lady, fans of this channel have a pretty good idea of what kind of questions you've been getting. Hi, are you available to work overnight tonight, Monday? Did someone call out, or can I work a split shift 3 to 7? No, 11 to 7. I can't work the full shift, I'm sorry. Great, thank you, I'll put you down. What? I can't work. Why do I have a sneaking suspicion that the very next text message from this manager is gonna be, "Where are you? You're scheduled to work and you're a no-call, no-show. I should fire you for this." Babysitter needed $100. Looking for a babysitter to come to my 2-bedroom condo from 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Location just off the DBP on Eglinton. 2 girls, 6 and 2, both well-behaved and polite. Must provide food, vegan organic food only. Must be smoke-free. Must submit criminal background check. Will pay $5 upon clean record. Don't ask me to pay for the check. Women only. Must work weekends with no notice. Price listed is weekly. After 6 months, if we're still conducting business, wages will go up to $150 a week. No, you cannot sleep at my condo. No, you cannot have friends over. No, you cannot study or watch YouTube or be on your phone while on duty. So, if you're curious on the math on this comes out to $1.66 per hour. Minus the cost of feeding 2 kids, so you'd be lucky to break even. Hey bro, is it cool if I still borrow the whip tonight? By whip he means a car. Yeah man, just bring it back by 10. What time you swinging through? 6. Aight homie, see you then. I'm going to give you the whip back tomorrow morning instead. Nah dude, I need my car tonight. Why do you need it overnight? You have your own car. Emily wants to get drinks in the South Side tonight after our date, and I'm not going to get laid if she knows what kind of car I'm pushing. I doubt she'll care what car you drive. Be more worried about how your crib looks, LMAO. Plus, I don't want my whip parked on East Carson. Too many drunks and don't want to worry about it getting hit or sideswiped. Dude, don't be an effing butthole. You know I've been trying to hit that since college. Are you really going to do this to me? Do what to you? I just bought the Charger and I'm not going to take any chances of you driving it drunk or it getting vandalized or hit in Southside. You know I've been grinding to get it for the past few years. It's an effing car, bro. Do you not value our friendship over a stupid whip? Weird, cause I was gonna ask you the same. So on this next post, a guy washes his ex-wife's clothes and then she posts this online. So I asked my kid's dad to wash some clothes for me since he was going to have our child overnight. I have to go to a laundromat, but he has a set at his home. He told me to send whatever I wanted, so I sent a small basket of things and he picked up our child yesterday evening. Well, he brings everything back to me early this evening and I just looked at it and he didn't even fold anything. Half the stuff was inside out. I didn't bother to say thank you because really? Now I have to still fold them before putting them up, so what good did it really do? It's like he didn't even try, yet I'm the wrong one for complaining. He did this several months ago when our child got scabies. I sent like 2 or 3 bags of stuff, including mine, but he seriously just brought it all back in the bags and brought it back not folded. He claims he didn't have time. He clearly just didn't want to put the effort in. He complains I didn't say thank you for either time, but why? He didn't put in enough effort and now our child has wrinkled clothes, so why should I say thank you? So I think I have an idea of why this guy broke up with his ex-wife. And here are some replies to the ex-wife. This is so dumb. Would you rather your kid have wrinkled clothes or dirty clothes? Be grateful and STFU. Oh wow, you're complaining about non-folded clothes? Be grateful they're clean. He could have told you to get your butt to a laundromat. Maybe if you would have said thank you, he'd have folded them the next time. Maybe not. You should still be grateful, lol. Really? Your ex does your laundry and you complain? No wonder it's your ex. I would have washed the child's clothing and left yours in the bag. You should be thankful for him doing them. He used his electric, water, plus the soap to wash them in. He washed them, right? If you asked him to and he did, you should be thankful. Seriously? You're complaining? Why didn't you turn the clothes right side out? Or better yet, teach your child to do so? Yes, you should thank them. Sheesh. You have a lot of standards for someone who had a favor done for them. I'm glad everyone else here has common sense. If I handed my dirty clothes to my ex, she'd probably light them on fire. Regarding gardens, hey Laura, I saw your post in the Blank Facebook group. I don't use Facebook myself, so thanks for including your email. You're a little bit early yet, but come April, we'll have seedlings of everything you've asked for in the community garden at the end of Blank Street. You'd be welcome to come and take what you want. We'll have loads and loads of spares. I've checked on Google Maps and that's 0.8 miles away. Would you be able to bring them to me on Blank Crescent? If you come out of the end of Blank opposite the shop, the community garden is literally opposite. I don't have a car though. How will I get them home? We could give you a bag? No need to be cheeky at me though. Haha, sorry, but seriously, it's like a 5-minute walk. Surely you can manage a few plants. Don't tell me what I can manage.
Do not. F you, effing cheeky grunt.
Well, that escalated quickly. We'll be posting on Facebook and the board outside the church when they're available. Come along and grab some if you like, or don't.
F off. I've seen you driving down in your car. Effing big man. Effing grunt. F off. Grunt.
I've never seen someone get so angry at the suggestion of a bag. Them in the end.
I do.
So angry at the suggestion of a
Textbooks from your first year?
Yeah, I never sold them in the end.
Do you think you could give them to Blank? She needs them for school.
Sure thing.
Free?
Yep.
Okay, when can you come and drop them off?
I'm not back in Blank until Easter, but if you can pay for shipping, I can post them.
You said they were free.
Well, yeah, the textbooks themselves. I'm only asking you to cover the shipping. It won't be more than a few pounds anyway, so it's still a good deal.
No, I won't cover it. You said free.
If you want to come up here and get them, I'll give them to you for free. I just don't see the point in making a loss on textbooks I could get 30 to 40 pounds on.
Will you pay for my train?
A loss on textbooks I could get 30 to 40 pounds on.
Will you pay for my train ticket? Never mind. I'm not arguing with you. Blake needs them by Wednesday, please. Drop them off before then.
I already said I'm not back in Blank until Easter. I'm not going to come down just to drop off some textbooks for you. Sorry.
F you. I'm not expecting much, Blank, just that you help me out because that's what family is supposed to do. If you can't do this for me, then I suppose I can't do anything for you either. You really are despicable. I'm so ashamed of you.
Wow, okay. I'm not asking much from you either, but here we are.
F you. I hope you fail Latin.
I've already passed LMAO, but whatever. I'll swing by in Easter with the books if Blank still needs them.
No, you won't. You're not welcome here anymore.
Alright then, I hope Blank does well with Latin. See ya! So, after listening to this conversation, you're probably thinking that this woman is like some distant acquaintance. Nope, she's OP's aunt. If my aunt talked to me like this, then I'd be having a conversation with my parents. That was r/choosing beggars, and if you like this video, then please let me know by hitting that like button because it really helps my channel grow. Welcome to r/malicious compliance, where we have a very special episode. Because today we have actual audio of a moron getting destroyed by malicious compliance. Here's a quick sample of what you have to look forward to.
Just call the fucking cops. Call them. Call them. Call them, buddy.
Our next Reddit post is from Terrific Moose. So, I recently started posting to Reddit, and I have a lot of stories. This one happened during my first career, when I worked as a scientist in a diagnostic lab. I've been working for about 2 years at this point, and had just been promoted to senior scientist. I had 2 supervisors in my section, each assigned to oversee half of the tests being done in our small corner of the lab, Rory and Tanya. Tanya was the senior most supervisor of the two, and secondary to my department head, she had the most authority over me on any given day. She also hated me. Never did figure out why, but she hated about 3/4 of the people working in the lab, so I never took it personally. I just don't think she liked people. The lab tends to attract people like that, funnily enough. We always used to joke about being the reject stuffed in a hole at the bottom of a hospital to be kept away from the general public. As for Rory, it's important to note that he had a very good reputation in the lab of never lying. He was never once caught in even a half-truth, and he'd been working there for over 30 years. He was well liked and well trusted. This will be important later. One day, I was doing one of the more technically challenging tests that our department performs. It's long, fiddly, expensive, and easy to screw up. Only senior scientists are allowed to do it unsupervised, and this was maybe the second time I've done it alone. We're talking 2 days just to get it set up. It was a nightmare. While I was measuring out some gelatin powder into a beaker, I accidentally elbowed Tanya. Our workstations were right on top of each other. This happened at least 4 to 5 times a day with everyone. I apologize and go back to what I was doing, but she flips out. Like full-on rage screaming in my face kind of angry. After a couple of minutes of her tirade, she says, "Just F off, OP. No one wants you here." And then she storms off to her office to cool off. Rory comes up to me, having seen and heard the whole thing, and asks if I'm alright. I say I'm a little shaken, but nothing too bad, and get ready to continue my work. But Rory had heard the whole thing, and he saw what test I was doing. He whispers to me, "Your supervisor told you to go. Best you do what she says, and if she causes a fuss about it, I'll be sure to tell the boss exactly what she said to you." Now, I knew Rory's reputation, so I knew I'd be safe. I also know that being told to leave early by a supervisor meant that I was still paid out for the rest of the day, provided I had worked at least 4 hours of my shift. The lab was actually pretty generous with time off, even if the pay and working conditions were garbage. So I did exactly what Tanya said. I effed off home. Now, at the stage I was at with that particular test, I had spent about $4,000 worth of reagents. Normally, batches of 20 samples are run to try and keep the cost down, but it was still an expensive test when you include the nearly 3 days of work from a single scientist. This was one of Tanya's tests, and therefore, Rory was not required to ensure it was done. No one in my section was very happy with Tanya, and she had gone off to her office and so couldn't see me leave. So no one went to tell her that the test was left unsupervised. Apparently, she didn't come back for over an hour, and by then, the test was ruined and had to be started over again. My boss was pissed. Tanya, of course, tried to throw me under the bus, saying I'd left without informing anyone and that it was all my fault. But good old trustworthy Rory told the boss exactly what Tanya had said. I love Rory. I couldn't be punished for doing exactly what my supervisor told me to do, and I got away with it completely. Unfortunately, nothing overly terrible happened to Tanya. She got formally reprimanded and had to take an anger management course that the hospital runs, but otherwise, she got no real punishment. She never yelled at me again, and was always careful to word things just right around me after that though, so that was something. As for what I did on my half day off, I went to the beach to enjoy the sunshine that I almost never got to see working in the deep dark dungeon that is the average hospital lab. I made sure to bring in the pictures the next day. I gotta say, a bunch of angry, embittered scientists working in a sunless dungeon under a hospital kinda sounds like some sort of supervillain group. Our next Reddit post is from Astral Taco. This is my first post on Reddit, and only decided to share after listening to so much r/ on this sleepless night. Hey, that's me! Backtrack about 4 years to when I was about to leave my small village to begin the roller coaster. Backtrack listening to so much r/ on this sleepless night. Hey, that's me! Backtrack about 4 years to when I was about to leave my small village to begin the roller coaster that would be university. I'd been working in a delightful pub for a couple of years. The week before I leave for university, the owners of the establishment decided they would give me a lovely, yet rather expensive gift. The gift would be that on my last night in the pub before leaving, I'd be allowed to pour myself however many pints I wanted on the condition that I didn't serve any customers. I should probably mention that me and my mates used to frequent my pub when I was off work, as it's always had a great atmosphere and friendly people. Anyways, as the night goes on, I drink more of my free pints, and I have to decline a few customers as I'm no longer employed by the pub. Nobody questions it. Until Karen. Oh, sweet Lord Almighty, not even Lucifer could put her on this earth. Not your typical